this is what I've been missing. I was so proud of myself, like, oh, who's this? If we're being frank, they wouldn't want to work with you, so just be yourself. Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new to my channel, hi, my name is Glory Okings. Thank you so much for stopping by. So in today's video, I'm going to be sharing how I started modeling in Turkey as a black model. So in this video, I'm going to share my journey on how I started modeling generally and how I started modeling in Turkey. And I'm also going to share tips on how you can start modeling, because I always get questions, and at the end of this I'm going to answer some of the questions I've gotten about modeling in Turkey. So if this is something you're going to be interested in, just get yourself a cup of tea or popcorn depending on what time it is, and let's get straight to the video. Okay, I'm going to start by sharing my journey basically on how I started modeling. So I've always been the skinny friend, sister, cousin, the skinny person around, or the slimmest person around. I didn't think I was skinny. I always thought I was slim. There's a difference between skinny and slim, that's what I believe. But anyways, I always thought I was like slim, and I've always been the slimmest friend. I've always been one of the slimmest friends, yeah. So I was always told to go into modeling and all of that, but I think growing up in Nigeria, you wouldn't really get as many opportunities when it comes to modeling, and I don't think my parents would have allowed me to do that. I don't think so. I would have probably still gone to school. So when I got to Cyprus, I had an opportunity. I had a coursemate who introduced me to these models that he knew. They started their brand, their modeling agency, and they were having a fashion show. That was when I did my first runway. I don't know if I'm proud of that runway, but every time I see it, I'm like, what was I thinking? What was I thinking? If I have a picture, I'm going to share it with you guys. I did the fashion show with them, and after that, I think there were other shows, other jobs I did, like hostess jobs. I've done so many jobs in this life, guys. Sometimes I don't share my story, but I feel like I can write a book about my life, literally. But yeah, I did some other hostess jobs as well with them, and then I graduated and left Cyprus after like a year or two of doing that job. I left Cyprus, I came to Turkey. Now I'm paying bills. There's more bills to pay. I have to pay rent, I have to pay, you know, I was still paying bills in Cyprus, but now I felt like the bills were more, so I needed to find a job. Teaching was not my cup of tea, because I don't think I'm someone who can really endure the 9 to 5 due to, it's just a mental thing. I just do not envision myself doing a 9 to 5, so I always try to find ways to make money. So I decided, you know what, I'm going to try to find modeling agencies in Turkey that would hire me, not knowing what to do. Basically, I was a very lost child, and I lived far away from like the city area of Istanbul, and I never used to go to the city area except I'm going to explore with my friends. So what I did was I started trying to search on Instagram. A friend of mine in Turkey sent me a post where they were looking for a black girl for a commercial shoot. Commercial shoot is different from modeling. I texted the number because, oh well, I'm a black girl, I'm slim, I fit the description, of course I'm going to text the number. I texted the number and they told me to come to their office. I went to their office, their agency, and I signed some papers, you know, just writing my age, my height, my weight and all of that, and then they took pictures of me. That day I was not looking my best. After that day I didn't hear from them again, like for over a year plus. I saw that was not working out. I was doing other things in the middle of all of this. One day I think I started seeing like modeling agencies. I think I googled them, or I just wrote it on Instagram, like modeling agencies in Turkey, and I saw a few. I followed them, like their pictures. I don't know if I reached out. I don't think I reached out. I think I've only reached out to one modeling agency after I started working. But anyways, they reached out to me and they told me, oh, they're a modeling agency, I should give them my number. I gave them my number and they told me, okay, I should send my descriptions and everything. So basically my description is just like your height, your weight, your clothes size and all of that. So I sent them to the agent. 2 weeks after that, I got a message that there's a job for me. I was like, who? Me? Okay. At that moment, I think one of the reasons why I never really took interest into modeling was I didn't feel I was skinny enough to be a model, or I was slim enough to be a model. I always imagined the models like, you know, Victoria's Secrets, the skinny ones, the like slender legs, slender arms, you know. I was slim, yes, but I always felt like my laps were not skinny enough to be a model. Why would I think that? I don't know. But it's body dysmorphia, guys. Run away from body dysmorphia. But yeah, when they reached out to me at that moment, I was like, okay, I'm free. And then body dysmorphia started coming in. I started feeling like, oh, I'm too thick. Or thick. Maybe I may be thick, you never know. So I felt like I was not skinny enough, but my friends, trust my friends, they're going to push me. Eunice and Cynthia, they're like, you better go for this job. I went for the job. I'm going to try to add pictures here if I have them. I went for the job. The job was great. The pictures came out. Shook myself. I was so proud of myself, like, oh, who's this? And the photographer didn't even know this was my first gig. At first I was like closed off, like shy, and then when I got a bit comfortable, I started hitting them with the poses. So that was that. After that time, I cannot remember very clearly my whole journey, but I'm just going to be patching and thinking. After that time, I now like relaxed, hoping for them to give me another job and stuff. So I tried to like reach out. I tried to like basically my technique for reaching out to agencies is I follow them and I like their pictures. If they notice me, they will send me a message. That's if they're interested. I continued and that did not work out. I didn't get a job for like 4 or 5 months after that. And I was thinking to myself, what's happening? Then the pictures I took for the first job I did, the photographers finally released them. And I got some of them and I posted them on my story. So that started building like my portfolio in a way. And I felt like, okay, we are getting somewhere with this. Remember the agency I told you guys I signed with? They gave me a job finally. They finally gave me a job. And when I went for the job, I met Mohammed. I don't know if you guys know Mohammed. You've probably seen him in my vlogs. He's like a model friend I have in Turkey. And he introduced me to another agency who was a casting agency as well, and then he also showed me some other agencies I could reach out to for modeling. So that was how it started. Another thing I realized that I was not doing right, why I was not getting a job, is yes, my face was nice, my face fits perfectly for the jobs, but I was not uploading full body pictures. So that was what like slowed down the jobs from coming, because I didn't really have full pictures that showed my poses or pictures that show how I pose and my full self. I just had my face, like, okay, pictures that start like from here to here, literally this position I'm in. One time they were trying to put me up for a job and the agent asked me if I had full pictures or pictures that showed poses. I was like, oh, so this is what I've been missing. Why didn't anyone tell me to take full pictures? Well, that was when I started taking full pictures. I started trying to get full pictures. I even did a walking like video one time just so I can show like how I walk and all of that. So my first runway show in Turkey, it was still Mohammed. Guys, Mo is a real G. He's my G. He's my G. Like, Mo helped my modeling life in Turkey. I think Mo sent me a flyer or a number of a guy who was looking for models, and I reached out to the guy and he told me, okay, I should come for the audition. Funny enough, I was late for the audition. I almost did not go for the audition. When I went, I was like the only black girl there. I auditioned and I got it. I was like, okay. And that was the first runway show I did in Turkey. I've done other gigs at this point. I had done other gigs, but that was the first one I did in Turkey, and it went great. Okay, it was nice. I had fun doing it, and it just made me also have like more content for my portfolio. So I continued doing other jobs, and here I am today. I can finally say to a certain level that I am a model in Turkey. Okay. Now I'm going to answer how I get gigs. So how I get gigs is most of the time they reach out to me, usually, except for commercial gigs where I am signed to 2 agencies. I wouldn't say signed, I work with them. I'm not signed to any agency. I'm an independent freelance model, and actress. I call myself an actress because I act, okay? I act in commercials. This is me being proud of what I do. Oh my god, that's nice, that's great. Anyway, so I act in commercials as well. I work with 2 agencies when it comes to commercials. When I started doing commercial jobs, it was so difficult because I would audition so many times and I wouldn't get it, and I did not understand why. I just told myself, you know what, God's time is the best. I'm just going to keep doing my thing, and when God thinks, okay, this is the right time for you to start getting gigs, that's great. And honestly, when I started getting gigs, let's just thank God for that. Alright, so that's how I get commercial gigs. And for modeling gigs, I follow certain modeling agencies that have my pictures, and they usually put me up for jobs when they require a black model, and if I get it, they contact me, or people I've worked with before reference me. So this is something I want to say, guys. When you go for jobs, one thing I noticed is people always think models are stuck up. I think just be yourself. Most of the time when I go for jobs, I'm just myself. I'm not trying to frown if I'm not angry. I'm not trying to act all stuck up. Most models I've worked with, they've just been pretty chilled. Honestly, the vibe I get from you is the vibe I'm going to give to you. So it's a vibe on vibe check, and most of the time it's been great. And sometimes some of these models, when there are gigs for black models, or if photographers are asking them for a black models, they always refer me. So that's how I also get gigs as well. So yeah, these are some of the ways I've gotten gigs, and it's been great, honestly. Another thing is your character, your aura, your vibe, how you vibe with the people. If you try to do all stock up and no one wants to work with you, if we're being frank, they wouldn't want to work with you. So just be yourself. So now I'm going to share tips on how you can start modeling in Turkey. I always get questions about this, but I'm going to share my tips. So my first tip is open your Instagram page. I can tell you 85% of the time people have asked me about modeling in Turkey. Let's say I see the message, I go on their page, it's locked. I'm thinking to myself, how exactly do I want to give you advice or tips if your page is locked or private, is on private? How do you want photographers to see your pictures? How do you want people to find you? How, when your page is locked? So I think that's the first tip. Please open your page, let people be able to see your pictures. The second tip I'm going to share is upload clear pictures. If you do not have maybe a good phone like an iPhone or something to get clear pictures, ask your friends to take you pictures with their phone if they have iPhones. You can work with photographers. Like sometimes photographers reach out to you if they see your pictures and they want to work with you. You can work with photographers to get clear pictures, or pay a photographer. I've paid a photographer to get pictures for my portfolio before when I started off. So have clear pictures, upload clear pictures. The third one I would say is reach out to people. This is like a good and not so good option, because when you reach out to them, they might think you're like desperate. Not all of them though, not all of them, but I would still say reach out. Just reach out. You never know. I have reached out before. Actually, I know I mentioned one agency. I've reached out to 2 people. The second one was how I got my second runway show. I reached out to the guy and he told me to come to his office. If you guys watch my vlogs, you would see, reach out to them. You can reach out to producers if you know producers, if you can tell who is a producer. You can reach out to photographers. You can reach out to modeling agencies and just tell them that, okay, look, I'm a model, I would love to work with you whenever you have a job opportunity. Yeah, the final tip I would give is use hashtags. I know Instagram usually says, oh, hashtags don't make a difference. It doesn't necessarily make a difference, but it directs your pictures to the people you want them to see. So take for example, if you check my pictures that relates to like my full self pictures, I always use the hashtag models in Istanbul, Istanbul models, modeling in Istanbul, Turkey models, modeling in Turkey, black models, African models in Turkey, you know, stuff like that. Just stuff that relates to how you look and the type of job you want to do. So I think that's like, those are the tips I can give to you if you want to start modeling. And now I'm going to try to find questions that you guys have asked about modeling and answer them. So the first one I saw is, how do I approach modeling agencies in Turkey? It's not difficult. Just type it like you're typing a letter. Sometimes your English doesn't even have to be correct. Do you get? Because sometimes these people don't even understand straight English, or they don't speak English. So if they speak it, they might not care about how it is. just let them know, or you can Google Translate it. Say, hi, my name is this. I would like to work with you. If you're a model already, because how I reach out is, hi, my name is Glory. I'm a model in Turkey, based in Turkey. I would like to work with you. That's it. If they reach out to me, fine. If they don't reach out, it's great. I don't care. As long as I have reached out, I've done my best. So don't bombard them. Don't stress them. They would see it if they want to see it, and they will reach out if they want to reach out. Okay, what is it like to be a model in Istanbul? I think it's okay. There's nothing extra about it. There's nothing, I don't know, I just think it's normal. It's like every other job, but like you just have to be smart when it comes to like your pay. You need to bargain. When I started modeling, I never used to bargain. I just accept the price they give to me and I just keep moving. But as I started asking questions about modeling from other black models, like female models, and I started getting an insight of how much they get paid, from then I started like, you know, bargaining my prices to get it to be higher and stuff like that. That's what I can say about modeling in Turkey. How do you normally find gigs in Istanbul? Like I mentioned, people I've worked with refer me, or people I've worked with want to work with me again. And people reach out to me. Honestly, I feel like most of my jobs come from references. People say, oh, they are looking for a black model, and maybe a model I worked with before contacts me or gives them my number, or maybe an agency I've worked with gets a job for me. So it just depends on, there are different ways I get gigs. I want to do modeling in Istanbul. Can you help me, please? This is how I'm helping you, sharing information with you. When people say, can you help me, please? I don't know how you want me to help you. Like, I can help, yes, but how do you want me to help you? Because I cannot go to my gigs with you. I'm not signed to any agency that I'll say, okay, look at this model, sign her too. I'm a freelance, so I've given you guys my tip, literally. What can I do to become a model? I've literally shared all of these tips with you guys. I've shared my knowledge with you guys on how you can become a model. So I think that's all for it. If you have any other question, if you have any specific question, if you probably have questions about the pricing, they are different, they vary depending on, for me, I charge according to like if it's a day, if it's half a day, if it's a high budget gig, if it's a low budget gig. I have like my prices, my set prices. So yeah. Anyways, I've come to the end of this video. I hope this video was helpful to you if you're planning to start modeling, or if you're coming to Turkey and you want to start modeling. It's up to you, and I hope it helps you out there. I hope it helps someone out there who is planning to start modeling in Turkey. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.